Hi, the purpose of this video is to talk about some of the common features available in Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Notice I'm not saying Access because Access is a slightly different animal than the other three. You can see here, actually, this is my home desktop screen. Other than showing you my family, that's not the purpose of this video. We are skipping intentionally the Windows chapter, and the reason for that is because we do have some students who might be using Windows 7, others who might be using Windows 10, and some students who might be trying to do this with a Mac. Being mindful, those of you that do have a Mac, you're going to have to come up with another way of doing your homework when we do get to Access, because Access is not available for the Macintosh. So this is Windows 10. I'm going to be invoking Word here from Windows 10. I'm going to be clicking on the Start button. So I'm going to assume that if you're taking an online course that you're familiar with many of the things that you can do in Windows, which includes creating folders, copying and pasting files. If you're not familiar with that, I highly recommend that you take the time now to read through the Windows chapter, because it does cover all of that information. And if you have questions regarding on how to do some of those things, feel free to reach out to me. But in general, I find it difficult to give the Windows assignment because different students have different versions of Windows, and it just makes it very confusing. Okay, so I'm going to click on the Start button here. I actually have Word posted here because I use it all the time. But if you don't, you can either scroll down this list to find Word, or you can always type here to search for Word, and you type Word and it will just pop up. So I'm going to click on Word here. Okay, and so the screen is available to you. You can see in the upper right-hand corner here, I have three. I have the red X, which would cancel me, close me right out of Word. I have this button here, which is called Minimize. And what Minimize does is it quickly shrinks your screen down. So I'm going to click on it. You'll see that it shrinks it down here to the taskbar area. And when I click on the taskbar again, it will show me anything that's open. And I can just click on this one here, which is the one that we were at, and it will reopen it for us. This button here now is called Restore Down, and if I clicked on it, it would go down to its last known size, and then this button switches to be maximized, and if I click on it again, I will then take up the full size of the screen. So this is true in all of the software packages. Any window that opens really will have minimize, maximize, and close. Okay, so here we are in the Word opening screen. You can see on the left-hand side that this will show any recent documents open. So obviously this will be different for everybody's computer because it's a running list of what was recently opened. Down here, if you want to open up a document that's not listed here, you would click on Open Other Documents, and you'd have to navigate your way to find the folder where your file was to open it. We're not going to do that now. We'll come back in and do that later. We're going to be going here to Blank Document, which is just going to start us with a blank document. All of these here are what we call templates. I'll be explaining templates in a little bit, but you can use templates basically to create a quick document that you can then edit to be your own, customize it to be your own, or you can search for online templates. Templates are great for like resumes, or if you're not sure how to write a cover letter, or how to do a memo, or how to do a fax. They're great for that. All right, so we're going to go into Blank Document. Okay, so let's take a look at the screen. The top bar of the screen, and again, this is true because this is the Common Features chapter. What I'm saying here is applicable to all the other software packages, in this case, including Access. So we have a title bar that will always tell you the current name of the file and what program you're using. Okay, so that's the bar running across the top. Over here on the left-hand side, we have what's called the Quick Access Toolbar. My Quick Access Toolbar currently, there's always a Save button that's available to you, so you can just click Save quickly from here. There'll be an Undo button. Clearly, right now my Undo button is not enabled because I haven't done anything yet. Okay, this is a Repeat button, a Redo button. Then there might be some buttons here that I have that you don't have. I have a Print Preview and Spell Check available to you. Basically, you can customize your Quick Access Toolbar by clicking here, and then you can turn on and turn off whatever it is that you want to see on your Quick Access Toolbar. So they're a quick way to get to certain commands. Okay, so this area here is called the ribbon. the ribbon is broken up into a variety of different tabs. So you can see currently I'm on the Home tab, and the Home tab, each tab is then broken up into groups. So for example, this is the clipboard group, this is the font group, this is the paragraph group, etc. And you just simply click on each tab to go to that particular section. Okay, so for example here, the Home tab, you can see that we have our font group, and on our font group we have toolbar buttons, and when you move your mouse pointer over to them, they give you this screen tip that tells you what they do. Okay, and in a lot of cases, for example here with bold, it will also show you in parentheses the keyboard shortcut for invoking that. So for example, for bold, you could hold down the control key on your keyboard and hit the B button, and that would do bold for your text. You'll see it says control plus bold. You don't type the plus, it just means you hold down control and then hit the B key. Okay, so I'm going to be opening up a file. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Open. And since it's not listed here, I'm going to go to Browse. Now, this file is not one that you would be going to because I'm just using it for this lesson. And again, I'm just opening up folders to get to where I need to get to. And this is the one I want. Okay, so this is a file that I'm open. Right away, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as a different name. If I were to hit save right now, it would save my changes to this document. Okay, I haven't even done anything yet, but before I do anything, I'm actually going to go to File and do File Save As. Okay, and I'm going to add my name to the end of this file name. Okay, and the purpose for this is if you royally screw up, you can always go back to the original, because at this point now, the FO1 script data file will be still there, and this will be creating another file, another document that has my name at the end of it. And this will be a typical practice when you're doing your homework assignments, that the first thing it will ask you to do is to go in and save it with your name. So you go to File, Save As, and then put your name at the end of it. So I'm going to click Save, and you can see up here on the title bar, it tells me that it's my name, it's my, the name of the file with my name at the end of it. Now, one thing I find is a lot of students don't know where their files are. One useful thing here is if you go to File, if you go back to File, you'll see here it tells you the name of the file, and it also tells you the path, the folder where you've saved it into. So this is how you can verify that you saved it into the correct location. All right, if you want to change the location of where it's saved to, you could do that in File Save As and just find the folder you want to save into by clicking on it and getting to it. Okay. So here we are in our Word screen. We've talked about the title bar, quick access toolbar, the ribbon, okay, the bar down at the bottom here where it's showing page 1 of 1 and how many words there are. This is called the status bar, And also available on the status bar all the way to the right is this zoom slider, it's called. And what this allows us to do is just to sort of increase or decrease how much you see on the screen at a time, making it bigger. So if you have older eyes, you might want to increase the zoom. If you prefer to see more of the page, then you could decrease the zoom. So I'm actually going to increase it just so that you guys can see more of what I'm doing. Okay, so this chapter talks a lot about the quick ways to highlight information. So I'd like to talk about that for just a second. If I want to highlight, basically what I would do is just hold down, let's say I wanted to highlight the key card for building entry, okay? I would start with my mouse pointer before the T and the, and I would simply drag to the right until I had that text selected. Okay. If I want to make a highlight go away, I just simply click and the highlight goes away. If I want to quickly highlight one word, so for example, if I want to highlight the word building, I can double click the word and that word would become highlighted. Okay. You'll notice that when you do things like that, you get this little mini toolbar. Okay. The mini toolbar is just a quick formatting things that you can do that are also available up on the ribbon. So for example, if I've highlighted this word and now I want to bold it, I would just simply click bold and that word would become bolded. Okay. A quick way to highlight a whole line, if you move your mouse pointer over to the left edge where this sort of margin area is over here, you'll notice that your mouse pointer changes from an I-beam pointer, which looks like that, to a white arrow. And once it's the white arrow, if you click once, you will get a whole line. If you double click, you will get the whole paragraph. Okay, and if you triple click, you will get the whole document. 1, 2, 3 gets the whole document. Okay, Now, so now that the whole document's highlighted, I'm just going to click off to make the highlight go away. I do want to point something out. Some of you might be wondering what these little inverted P's are and why I have dots between my words. This is something I always have turned on when Word is on. And what this is on the Home tab in the paragraph group, you will see that there is this Show Hide button. And this is showing what we call non-printing symbols. So if I click it, it will make those go away so that I won't see where I've hit space, where I've hit enter. Right now, it probably looks messy to you with it turned on. But eventually, I think you will grow to understand why it becomes important, especially when we get into formatting paragraphs and formatting fonts, because it will let you know exactly what you have selected, exactly when the tab keys hit, when the enter keys hit, etc., etc. So I'm going to leave it turned on for now. So I want to point out here that, for example, this right here, this is a paragraph. In an English sense of the word, it's not a paragraph, but a paragraph is whenever the enter key is selected. So this is a paragraph, this is a paragraph, etc., etc. Okay. So the reason why we highlight is because that's how we let Word know what we want to format. So that is really the purpose behind formatting, highlighting text. Okay. So for example, if I highlighted this whole paragraph here, I'm going to go over here and double click. That paragraph is highlighted. I could then use bold, italic, or underline, or I could change the font name for just that text, and it would change that information, okay, to be formatted in the way that I selected, okay. We're going to get into a lot of what's available for formatting when we go into Word itself, but you will see when you're in PowerPoint and Excel that a lot of the same options as far as bold, italic, and underline and all of that are the same.